What is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
This one time.
Welcome back to the Fode Philosophy. We have our guest host, Mark Donor, right here. Can you see his face? Can you see what he's doing? And we have our guest today, Sir Brockohurn.
Oh, there's a sir in front of his name? I just
like
get, oh, guess.
And myself, your host, Pierson Fode. Yay! You guys, just to start this off a little weird, I wanted to give us all some practice swords and just beat the fuck out of each other really quick. Fuck you! Die, bitch!
If you're listening to the audio version, I'm sorry, guys. I'll just sit here and talk as they do this. And
All right.
yeah, we're sorry about that.
Thank you.
Anyways,
All right,
so my
that's
day
the
was
whole
actually pretty
podcast.
good. if you guys
Tune
are
in next
wondering.
week when you can for something a little weirder than expected.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mark?
I said my day was great, for those of you wondering.
For those of you that don't know, Brockohurn, he is a Instagram god. He was the man, the myth, and the legend who invented men's hair. Great men's
You're honestly,
hair.
yeah, you're the first, like,
You're the
good-looking
legend.
dude on Instagram.
Oh, dude.
Like,
You're the first male Instagram model.
Truly.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you made the man bun hot.
You're not first, you're last, dude.
Dude.
How'd you go viral?
Yeah.
Dude. Legit. Put my hair in a bun. A few 100 million views later. Here
Are
we
you serious?
Shut
I
up.
swear on my life, dude.
How many views did your first video get when you put it in a bun?
It was like 100-something million.
No way.
On Instagram?
On Facebook.
What'd you do?
Did you monetize?
I wish. I didn't.
Dude,
Damn
that's
it.
I didn't know that was a thing at the time.
That's real cash.
Jeez.
No, it was wild, man. I started Instagram just doing like fitness stuff, and I was like, man, this thing has a cap. So I started making all these different, like, you could only do so much with fitness at the time. And I just decided to kind of start doing different stuff. Filmed guitar, going surfing, doing all this different. Ran out of ideas for content for the day. Decided I'm just gonna look in the camera and do this, man. And here we are. But
Shut the fuck up.
I swear on my life. And somebody was like, you should make a fan page, because I had like 50,000 followers on Instagram or something like that. And so I made the fan page on Facebook, thinking, I was like, why would I have fans? I didn't do anything to have fans, you know?
Right.
Like, the first video I put up did like 100 million views. And it was
Jesus.
went from overnight from no followers to 300,000 on Facebook, and then Instagram just blew up on top of it.
That's
Damn.
Because I
nuts.
tagged my Instagram on the Facebook
Yeah,
video.
that's smart.
Hey, here we go. Dude.
Good work.
Marketing 101.
Seriously.
Take some notes.
That's crazy though. So what happened overnight? Did you have brand deals coming through, like L'Oreal reaching out and be like, would you be the face of our brand for the rest of your life?
No.
No?
It was so fresh, and it was such a new market that it wasn't like that at all. But what I did is I created because I was a personal trainer at the time, I created an online training platform, and it was insane.
Really?
It was insane.
Just
dude.
girls signing up, not even for the class. They're just like, I just want to see this guy.
They're like, we totally took his class. They're just sitting there eating popcorn. Oh,
And
just
then they
tie the
wrote
hair
wet ass
again.
pussy. What?
What? WAP. We got the WAP going.
Yeah, it was a wild ride, man. And then
Jeez.
so I took that training business and moved to LA and decided.
Wait,
to
where were you when the video blew up?
Orange County.
Oh, you're still in.
Not far at all, but it's a
Yeah.
different world.
You
out
from
there.
Orange County?
Yeah, I'm from Orange
Oh,
County.
okay.
Yeah, it's a different world out there.
Yeah, it's like Ohio.
It's exactly
It's kind of
Super conservative.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know.
Tyler's shaking his head in the background saying, no, it's not.
It's not conservative? I'm
Just
pretty
saying
sure
it's
Orange
not.
County's conservative, yeah?
No, it's fairly conservative. No, saying it's not like Ohio.
Oh, yeah, there's a beach.
There's definitely a beach. So what happened next? Like, how did that kind of project your journey? And was that what you wanted to get into, was like social media, or what was your progress?
For me, it's always been acting.
Yeah.
But I started to see what social media could do.
Yeah.
One, it gave me income revenue, a stream,
Yeah.
which I never had before. Made it so I was able to move to LA, started building that thing up. And in the meantime, I was like, you know what? I have no connections in LA. I don't know anybody. I don't know anything about this industry. I'll start with modeling. So I jumped in, got signed to the first agency I walked into, and I was like, let me go check out another one. I don't remember it now, dude. It was so long ago. But then I walked into Ford, and I was like, dude, I would love to get signed here. And I'm 6'7", but I went in and I was like, I'm 6'5".
Nice.
Please sign me.
Nice.
They're like, the tallest guy we have here is 6'3". Otherwise, we would have loved to sign you. but whatever you do, don't stop going after it in this industry. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna run with that. And I kind of started to do it. Started booking modeling gigs here and there.
Were you skinnier? Because you're like a bulky dude.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I started off really skinny, but that was the thing. So so when I walked in, they were like, okay, we're gonna sign you across the board. We were so excited to work with you. Everyone was fired up. I was fired up, but they're like, you need to stop working out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like, you're too big here, and your traps are too big. And when they said that, I was like, oh, I'm screwed, because I never worked out my traps in my life. Even when I weighed 130 pounds, I had traps, dude. And so I was like, I'm just gonna keep being me. So I just kept working out regardless of the situation of what they said, and grew my hair out, and then I went viral.
Wow.
So I had like a couple of Instagram followers, but then I went viral because I stayed true to myself.
That's dope.
Can I ask a question? Where does the mountain look come from? Because you're from Orange County. I didn't know that.
Where's the mountain look come from?
Yeah, fucking mountain man over here.
Oh, dude. I just like the outdoors, man. I don't know. I've just always been all about camping and adventure and off-roading, and just, I don't know, I've kind of,
Would you say
I think
the
also,
OC is like the hillbilly group of LA?
For sure. Dude.
Yeah.
No, it was also the thing as a kid. I was so skinny, and I was like really insecure, and I wasn't really comfortable with myself. And I since day one, I've been in love with film, in love with TV, and all I ever wanted to be was like a superhero, you know, like I want to look like a superhero, do that. So I built that whole thing out, and I grew my hair out, and I did the whole thing, and it's just kind of, but I've always had long hair. So
You look like if Thor and Poseidon had a baby. You would be that.
You could be Zeus, bro.
Oh my God, he could totally be Zeus.
Keep going. I want to see if I've not heard something that you guys are going to say.
Honestly, you look like
Honestly,
Athena.
You look like that.
I heard that before.
What's that one? Aquaman. Jason Momoa.
Dude,
bro.
you look
Heard
like
that
Jason
before, dude.
Momoa. Have you ever heard that before?
I got breakfast the other day for free because I look like Jason Momoa.
Shut up.
Dude, these masks are paying off.
How many times have you gotten sex because you look
Oh,
like
the mask.
Jason Momoa?
You had the mask on, and they're like, bro, it's fucking Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, dude, I've gotten a few comments like that.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's it like with the women?
I mean,
Listen, do you slay the WAP?
dude.
I'm just
Oh
using
my
Nicki
God.
Minaj's language
I'm just
here.
using the modern lingo. The kids are saying it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what TikTok, why Mark Donor's song
this
Threesome
is
got taken
bullshit.
down, but WAP was okay.
Your song got taken down?
Yeah. But it's back up.
It's back up.
But I had to contact TikTok and be like, hey, guys, you took down my song. And they're like, oh, sorry, there was a technical issue.
It's so
Just
weird.
because of
Who
just
knows?
for whatever reason?
They said technical issue. Then his viral TikTok that he made had crazy traction.
Bro, I had 5 million views and 750,000 likes in a day, and they took it down.
Yeah. Actually, funny enough, so Brock and I actually work out at one of the same gyms. Because we work out at a lot of gyms.
We work out at all the gyms.
We work out at all the gyms. And our trainer, Eric, was like, oh, yeah, Brock was just in here the other day. And I was like, hell yeah, that's my boy. We're the Mountains. You may know us. The Mountains. Mountains, brother. How often do you work out?
Before or after COVID?
Before.
Before COVID, once or twice a day.
Nice.
Every day.
And you've spent a lot of time in the gym, and you've spent a lot of time creating plans and things. Can we talk about some of the things that you're planning for the future?
100%. What do you want to talk about?
All right. What are you doing with these plans that you've prepared?
All right, these plans. I mean,
'Cause I don't know what legally I can say about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you sign some NDA or something?
I actually have signed a few NDAs.
Yeah.
So there's a few things I can't talk about. But I mean, honestly, like I said, when I was younger, all I wanted to be was like that leading male superhero looking type dude. So for me, it's all about making movies, making TV, making film, things that I love, you know, like just like you love YouTube and your music and everything. I think you like to eat mangoes.
I do love mangoes.
That's about it.
Big fan of mangoes.
No, but it's that same lane of everything that I do relates to my passion, which is, you know, fitness is one of them, and the things I'm doing over on that space. But then it's all about movies, man. Whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, directing, producing, writing, everything I'm doing is to move in that direction, no matter where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it. So I can work 20 hours a day, 24 hours a day, and not even doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind when I'm on set and you see someone who's like having a bad day.
Yeah.
It blows my mind because I'm like, one, there's a million people that would do your job and be fired up the entire time
Gassed
and
the
even
whole
do
time.
it better.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind. It's crazy, but
I feel like that's a trait of like a lot of people that they start to take it for granted because it's become menial work to them.
Yeah.
Or they're just doing it to pay rent. They're just doing it. And,
Yeah.
and to me, I'm like, yo, I sacrificed so much to get here and to make my dream come true that like every time I'm on set, it's like a euphoric feeling.
yeah.
You know, I
Oh,
get
it's the
stoked
best.
even when I'm
I
not.
love when I'm on set.
Yeah.
I hate when I'm fucking sitting in the trailer for
Waiting.
90% of the time.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
There's a lot of
Yeah.
sit and wait. But I think that's why there's a lot of like sit and wait actors, but there's also a lot of very successful actors that use that time.
Granted,
feed.
I've never booked a role where I'm on every fucking scene, you know? I'm
Right.
the guy that's
Yeah.
like one line, you
Right.
know, in everything I've done. So like I
Yeah.
get like if I was the lead actor, of course I'd fucking love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when you have a movie or like a show that's like sitting on your shoulders, it's so much fun. It is
It's that
tough because you like feel the pressure and the weight of like, fuck, if I fuck this up, everybody's gonna blame me for this.
Yeah.
There are those thoughts.
That's what happened when I first started. And then as I kind of started to know more of the business and the back end of it, of the, you know, the producing and the directing and all that, it took all the weight off, because you can sit back as an actor and you know you're in front of the camera and you have to perform and you got to, you know, send it to all the way. But when you realize that there are 200 people for every one of you there are, realizing, oh, the director's got his position, the producer's got to do this thing right. Oh, you know, even light, sound, the grips, everything. It's like you realize you're one part of a moving thing and you're not just the whole part.
Yeah.
So it takes the stress away. And then when you just have freedom, man. And then you go have fun with it. And it's a whole different ball game.
Oh, you get to play.
Yeah.
My acting coach, Dennis, always describes it like, he's like, look, you've got a painting. You've got the painter who's the director, right? And every single piece inside of that painting is one of you. You've got the actors who color it with style and critique and, you know, different shades of blue or red inside of a painting. And then you also have the canvas itself, which is the crew that support the whole thing and put it together that you may not see. Yeah. And that gives you, as the actor, knowing that like, I'm just one shade of this entire painting. Gives you a lot of freedom inside of it.
It does, man. It's a collective project, no matter which one you're doing on it. And it's so much bigger than I feel like a lot of the public realizes.
Yeah.
Because you go and you watch a movie and you enjoy it, you know, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. But you don't realize all the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've heard this where there's a million things that have to go right and there's 2 million things that can go wrong. When you really break it down, that even goes down to, you can have the best product in the world, but if it's not marketed right, or it's not put out there right, or something goes wrong, then it fails. You know, like Shawshank Redemption, you know, it's like no one could say that, so the movie didn't do well, but it's one of the greatest films.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No one could say what?
What
About Shawshank?
Say what?
Say what?
Nobody could say that. So it did terrible in the box office.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
But it's spread by word of mouth. So if you can't, everyone's like, I went and saw this and that.
Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
Like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh,
I didn't actually know that was a reason that it did so bad in the box office, was they couldn't say the name right.
Well, that's what they say. That's
Shawshank.
what they say.
Shawshank Redemption.
I
actually went to see Shawshank.
Has anyone made a
Shawshank.
movie entirely by themselves? Like one person?
There's
The
a
whole
few.
thing?
There's a
gotta
few
be.
directors that are those like really interesting indie art house directors. I say interesting because
No, I'm saying act, star, shoot, like put their fucking camera on a slider, timed, hit the button, run, do the scene.
Robert Rodriguez was kind of one of those guys back in the day,
Really?
but he was just a director. He wasn't actually like starring in them. But he was like the first major guerrilla filmmaker that made it on a huge commercial scale. But he used to like literally for his I don't even know what to call them shots. I guess his dolly shots. He would hop in a shopping cart and he would push it and then hop into it and then like be rolling the camera as his actors were shooting just to get like that moving shot. Or he'd have a buddy of his, just push him in the cart and he'd do his shots like that. But that was like some super guerrilla filmmaking. I don't know
That's awesome.
I don't know if anybody's successfully. No, there was one guy. You know the guy that played in Back to the Future, the guy that played the dad. Tylor, if you can look up his name, I don't remember. But he made a whole movie that he shot and directed and wrote, and it looks like an acid trip. It is the biggest acid trip of all time. And I started watching it, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But he's like, what is it? Chris McGlover. Yeah. Crispin Glover.
It's a hell of a name.
Crispin.
It's a hell of a name.
Crispin Glover. But yeah, he was one of those guys that's like hyper indie and like does it all himself.
That's sick.
Yeah, he's a wild man though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd recommend watching any of his individual projects. But Brock, you've come from like a few, like you came from the social media world and then you came into the film world and then you've mixed them pretty well, but also now you've like seen what Mark does and now what I'm doing as well with how much like material we're cranking out. What has been your observation of that?
I mean, from seeing what you guys do, it's amazing the work you guys put in. Like it's nonstop. I feel like it honestly takes a certain kind of personality. It's the ultimate extrovert, dude. Of you guys are out there and you're grinding and you're putting in work. It's not just like throw up a couple videos. It's how many all-nighters do you guys spend a week? Like,
I mean, I try to go to bed. He stays up later than me.
Yeah, I usually pull like one all-nighter a week.
Yeah. But it's also like you get to create all the time. So I feel like there's a lot of fun in that as well. I mean, I've always wanted to jump into this space, but then at the same time, it's like the content I've always wanted to create is always film and TV. It's always been that way. So I don't think it translates as well, you know? But then there's things I see, like you showed me Kevin James's social media, and I'm like, to me, I think it's hilarious on every film. But then how do you feel about that?
I mean,
it's a different kind of content.
Yeah,
right?
there was no punch at the end for me. I was like, oh, where's the punch?
Yeah.
So it's like
but my problem is I've never been a fan of like people who try to be funny. Like I'm not a joke guy. I don't laugh at jokes. I don't laugh at Will Ferrell. I don't laugh at like people saying jokes. I'm more of like I don't know, timing kind of guy.
Mark likes being in the moment, like those kinds of things.
That's dope.
Yeah. That's his kind of humor. But
I'm not a big comedy movie guy anyway. My favorite comedy movies though, back in the day, I used to watch like Dumb and Dumber, stupid slapstick comedy, and then Happy Gilmore is like one of my favorite of all time.
So my question would be like, how did you why the transition from like, because that's totally jokey joke humor. What happened?
That's like the top of the list.
I think those are physical humor. I don't know.
That's slapstick, but also there's a lot of like jokes in there, especially Happy Gilmore.
Just his delivery is fucking hilarious, I think. And the timing, like when he's like, I wanna kiss you all over. Like, I watched it in Mexico, or maybe it was the other night at our friend's house, and I was like, dude, I forgot about this movie, but I was watching it, and I'm like, damn, a lot of my timing and jokes they come from this movie, and I don't even know it, because I was watching like the beats, you know, like when he's like at the intercom, like Terry, or wait. And then he goes, awesome. Fine, get the hell out of my life. And then he runs back and he's like, I'm sorry, baby. And then like, you know, like, I don't know. There's just like, I don't know. I like that movie.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's a great film. Adam Sandler crushes it, dude.
Bro, he absolutely does. Did you guys see Uncut Gems?
Oh, yeah.
That was high anxiety the whole time.
Dude. They killed it. The two brothers that directed are animals at that stuff.
The ending, I was just like,
bro, I was stressed.
They did it, dude.
Yeah.
They did it.
That movie gave me mad anxiety, but I was also like, they hit the beat. Did you guys see their other one that they did with Robert Pattinson, Good Time?
No. Is the one with his brother?
Yeah.
I didn't like that movie.
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
I loved it because, number one, I'd never seen Robert Pattinson in anything outside of like
Twilight.
They
rob a bank, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
They rob a bank?
A bank or like a Western Union or something like that. But essentially he's just trying to get his brother out of this, like his brother has a learning disability. Right. And so he's trying to get him out of this place where they help with that. And because he's like, God, my brother doesn't have a learning disability. And it sets him on this wild trail of this guy's, Robert Pattinson's character is just a trail of bad decisions. And it leads to the one final decision. And you're like, oh my God. And that's what these guys do, the brothers that directed it. They absolutely fucking crushed that. Yeah. But like Uncut Gems was one of those movies where I was like, God, I've never seen Adam Sandler do something like that.
No, and he killed it.
Bro, he was so good.
Killed it.
He didn't get like any Oscar nods for that.
No,
though.
and they were saying that was going to be his Oscar nomination and everything else, and nothing.
I felt bad about that. It feels like the Academy sometimes like listen, the Academy has their own thing that they've got going, and they have like a very prestigious name. Yeah. But I feel like with Leo, or like sometimes with Adam Sandler, or like other guys and girls that have like tried to rise to the top in that scenario have been shunned a lot of times because of their previous work. And I'm always like, is that going to happen to me? Am I going to make one too many TikToks and then be like, they're like, ooh, yeah, that was no
we were going to
Academy
pick
for
you, but we saw your last video was called Took My Crush on a Date. And we don't want to put you in the fucking. No, so when people search your name, it's the first thing that comes up is Pierson Fode. I took my crush on a date.
How old is he? No, he's not allowed into the academy.
No, man. But honestly, on that note, though, if you really look at it and the evolution of what TV and film and even commercial and everything along the way, in the last couple of years, especially with social media, but in the last couple of years, there's been this transition of like, Hollywood's not just if you're a movie star, you're a movie star. If you're a TV star, you're a TV star. It's the wild, wild west, dude. And everyone is doing anything all the time. And it's really like, it's almost like you have to put your face out there more to be recognized and seen all the time. And that's why you see like what you guys are doing. Some of the biggest stars in the world are crushing social media.
Yeah.
And they made it a full-time job, you know?
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. They finally cut on to you. They finally cut on to you.
Fuckers.
Goddamn piece of shit. You worked with Will Smith. How was that?
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, super nice guy. I mean, he laid the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it too because you have to eliminate ego. You know, like a lot of people have that mentality, celebrity-wise, where like, oh, I'm too good for social media. Like I can't be taken seriously if I do it. And then like once you eliminate ego, then you can be successful like Will Smith and just like fucking dominate on all things.
Yeah. But isn't it the same in all walks of life?
Yeah.
Really? The ego is the death of you, man. And if you can step out of your own way, no holds bar, man.
I think fear, I mean, even me posting that TikTok, I was scared to do it because I was like, I know people are going to fucking roast me.
Yeah.
But I was like, do I want 5 million people to watch this TikTok? I could take some roasts.
Yeah.
Who's getting the last laugh?
You get no views on that video inside your phone. Is that what you say?
I always say that, yeah. When people say like, they don't want to post because they don't think it'll do well. It'll get more views on TikTok than on your camera roll.
That's funny.
That's a very quotable moment right there.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder, wait, Mark, did you work with The Rock too?
Yeah, I did one video with him with Logan.
How was that?
He was cool.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
He was like he was
schedule.
Moving, yeah.
He was on a quick schedule.
Punching one?
Yeah,
I remember that.
How was that?
Cool. Just super quick schedule. Like had to shoot it real quick and then we were out. There was no like time to chill and talk.
Yeah. No time to actually hang out.
He had like a huge team just like on his dick, literally like, let's get out of here, go get this shot.
Wild, man.
That's cool though that he like all these like mega stars are like stepping into the social media world and like allowing essentially what they did for all of us, especially like the younger generation, was they opened up the door. And essentially what you just said, Will broke down a video, and I think when he was promoting Gemini Man, he was like, the days are gone where as an actor, what we used to do was do a movie and disappear for the entire summer.
Yep.
And then we'd come back and we'd premiere it on the red carpet, and then we'd be allowed to like show our face again. We get paparazzi would photo us, and then we have other little things happen, and then we'd go back into hiding and we'd do another movie, and we were like artists at the time. Yeah. And he's like, now if you are not seen on social media, you are no longer relevant. And he was like, look at how many actors there are in the world right now where you have no power. You have no pull anymore, and you used to be huge 5-10 years ago.
100%.
And he's like, I make a TikTok or I make an Instagram or I do YouTube. I get to create small stories that probably don't need a hour-and-a-half platform inside of a theater, but they can deserve the 5 to 10 minute or even 5 to 10 second platform in your phone. And I think that's really cool. There's like a power to that. And Mark and Logan and Casey Neistat and all these guys like set the path for all of us to like step into. And I think we're at the first molding pot of social media and old media, like traditional media.
100%.
And so it's up to us as like creators and filmmakers to like step in and allow that space to like begin to come together. Because of COVID-19, of all the things, it's forced everybody to be on their phones. Like you've seen these late night hosts. No offense. Terrible late night hosting capabilities because they can't do something from home. They're really bad at it. And like all their videos and the quality of their content just went through the floor. They don't know how to like keep it together. Have you watched like the SNL skits?
I haven't watched a single thing, I'm not gonna lie.
Bro.
I don't ever watch late night TV.
I tried watching some SNL stuff, and their jokes were just, it was rough.
They don't hit.
Because they don't have the writers or what?
I think they still have the writers, but everybody's working from a Zoom call. And so like the timing is off. The punches are weird. They're not hitting right. And people are trying to like do stuff in their apartment and be kind of funny from that. And the joke of like
the joke comedy, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but joke comedy does rely on the timing of the joke,
right?
And so if you miss a beat or too many beats and try to save it, then it's just awkward. Plus, you don't have an audience.
Yeah,
like you're not reacting.
Laugh track's gone.
Yeah, the laugh track is gone, and so it just it feels awkward and empty on the inside.
That's what I'm saying. So all my skits aren't like laugh tracky. They're like visual. They're not. I wouldn't even consider my skits, like my old skits I used to make, funny. The ending's funny, but the whole build up is just entertainment.
Right.
It's like shot nice, edited well, and then it's like, oh, punch, laugh, send it to your friend. It's not like that's what I'm talking about when I say the joke comedy is like joke, laugh track.
Yeah.
Joke, laugh track.
Yeah.
Like,
right. That makes sense. I mean, your new TikToks have been crushing it when you've been re-editing all of your old skits and stuff.
Whatever. That's the formula. Hot girls and punches.
It's okay. Hot guys, we've got Brock, and he will punch hard.
Oh, dude, I'll punch super hard.
Brock, how was working with Tylor Perry?
Dude, it was humbling.
Yeah.
But it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in film, because I got to see how he worked, you know, on a different scale. You know, it was
He told me that
incredible.
he sat down one day and he literally wrote out a whole script in like an hour.
Yeah, dude's an animal. I think he posted something a few months ago and he showed all the scripts that he had written. He had like full 22, 24 episode seasons. He had like 6 of them, and he wrote like 8 movies and all that. He did all of it in 1 year. And I can't even imagine how many pages that is a day, you know, and the guy just crushes it. But he works so hard, but he's also one of like the most giving, kind people I've ever met in my life. And for me, I was like, that is the kind of person that I want to embody one day. You know, I want to be able to work on the scale of that, create everything that I ever wanted to create, but then also give back on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing in the world to see.
That's awesome.
It's like, yeah, it's amazing, dude. So I'm working towards that every day.
What was it? What was the environment like on set? I mean, I had my soap opera experience, which was like, it seemed like it was very similar, where you'd turn around 120 pages in a day, and it's just like you have to be off book and you have 1 to 2 takes.
That's exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So my first day ever filming, I think I did 80 pages. I kept all of them.
Good Lord.
And I'd never done a TV show. The first thing I ever did
was the TV show?
It was called Too Close to Home. Yeah, it was, dude. Yeah, everything. My house hadn't been built in the show, and so it took a little bit longer than expected. So everything of mine got pushed in the season, and I was in every episode. It was only 8 episodes, but I was in every episode. 80 pages. Longest day of my life. Longest day
you did
of my
80
life.
pages in a day?
80 pages. I did 80 pages of my own dialogue in one day. So that's where maybe it's a little different. I don't know what the soap opera was like, but yeah.
How the fuck did you memorize it?
Bro, you do it or you get fired.
That's literally it. That's the biggest incentivizer of all time.
Did you take an Adderall or some shit?
No, dude. Honestly, you're so wired and wanting to perform and doing it the right way. And I was so green and new to it that at first I was so nervous that it took me getting over it. And then once I got into a groove, I was like, okay, I can do this. I remember second season, there was a moment I had 50 pages this day. And I got the scripts 3 days before we started filming. Now you got to keep in mind, it's also, we film an entire season in 2 weeks, which I'm sure it's probably very similar to what you're doing.
How many episodes are in a season?
For a lot of his other shows, he does about 22, but our show was brand new, so we had 8 per season. So we filmed in like a week, dude, and we're done.
Jesus.
Yeah, the first movie I ever did with him, he did the entire feature in 5 days. And it was number one.
Fuck?
Like,
is he making fucking YouTube videos?
Basically.
Yeah. He's cranking out a YouTube video every day.
And it was number 1 in the box office 2 weekends in a row, dude.
Was
What
it
movie?
Medea Halloween.
Oh, okay.
You're in that movie?
Yeah.
What's your role?
I play one of the frat guys. Horse.
All sick-outed.
Dude's name's Horse.
Horse, I wondered why.
Everyone wonders why.
Horse cock.
Somebody had to say it. That monster ding dong downstairs. That's rad though, dude.
Yeah,
What was
a good time.
Wait,
was
did
it
you
like?
have to get naked for something? Or we were just talking about you had an audition? Or wait, what were we talking about?
I mean,
Or no, on
I
Euphoria.
auditioned for YouTube and I had to do, no, I was kidding.
Weren't you on Euphoria?
Yeah, I did like a little small role in
But you were
Euphoria.
naked.
I mean, I was wearing a little bit.
You showed your ding dong on Euphoria?
Dude, I have not showed the ding dong yet.
Dang it.
But you would?
TBD.
TBD. They invite him back. He's definitely showing that ding dong.
Did you meet Zendaya?
Didn't meet her. Filmed with Barbie, and she was total sweetheart, man. Such a cool girl. But yeah, it's one of those things like, would you go full nude?
And
If you had the opportunity?
me?
Forgetting Sarah
Oh,
Marshall?
oh,
Would
yeah,
you do
for
that
sure.
scene?
Dude,
I would
that scene's
totally go
great.
full
Dude, he
nude.
crushed that.
Straight
dude.
cock
I
out?
loved it.
Yeah.
Would you have a cock stand-in, or would you use your real cock?
Nah, I'd use my real one.
Oh, dude, you got to go full cock.
Yeah.
Real cock.
That-
Don't most people have like it's not them?
There's this weird thing in certain studios, they won't let you show real penis.
What about the guy in Hangover, the little Asian guy?
Oh no, that was his real
That's
ding dong.
real
Yeah,
weird.
that was
He
real.
doesn't care.
He did it for his wife, I think, was the original thing. He was like, if I can make my wife laugh, that's my ultimate goal. He's like,
Yeah.
all I want to do is make her laugh the hardest. And so
Wasn't that like his idea to go naked though?
Yeah,
it wasn't
fully.
even a part of it.
and then like
Legend.
the fact that they pinched his wiener in the middle of the shot, and
Wait,
it
they
straight
did?
up looked like a little mushroom, and I was so
Dude.
confused.
I don't remember that.
What a legend.
I
They
remember-
actually touched his wiener?
Yeah.
He's the man.
One of the guys was like,
He's the man.
dude, what is this mushroom? And then, I think it was Zach Galifianakis. It might have been in the second one, but regardless,
That's like jackass level shit. They don't give a fuck.
zero fucks to give. But I
That's
think
hilarious.
for me, it's not so much like, oh, dude, I want to show my wiener on screen. It's more like, if the story demands it, hell yeah. Like,
Exactly.
if there's a moment in Euphoria, or there's a moment in Game of Thrones, or if there's a moment in the Titanic, or these legendary projects.
Why would there be a moment in the Titanic to show cock?
I'm trying to give an example of like girls having to show
Yeah,
breasts.
Oh, who
or-
was naked in Titanic?
Why am I forgetting her name?
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her
What?
name?
She got naked? I don't think
She showed boob.
I've never seen Titanic.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
when
that
she was
explains why.
doing the painting, right?
Was that yeah?
He was doing the painting.
Paint me like one of your French
Paint me
girls.
like one
That
of your French
scene
girls, dude.
was
So
her.
that quote is from there?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Have you
Mark?
not seen
Swear.
the Titanic?
No.
Kate Winslet. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tyler.
Kate, dude.
I
Kate's
cannot believe you haven't seen the Titanic, Mark.
I
You
just
haven't
watched
seen a
The
lot of
Notebook
movies.
for the first
amazing.
time.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I need to educate Mark on more cinema
Yeah.
because this is a sad day for
Those
me.
are like
I've
the
seen it,
staples
but
that you
like,
have to see.
I saw it so long ago, I don't remember. You know when
Listen,
you were a kid?
every young man remembers that scene. You did not see it. You fell asleep.
Maybe my dad wouldn't let me watch that scene.
Honestly, probably, if that's the
Oh
case.
damn.
Was your dad watching it with you?
I don't fucking remember.
You didn't watch it. You
All I
lie.
remember- the only movie I remember watching is Shrek.
That was the only movie he watched growing up. He's like,
Great film. Great film.
this is cinema.
And Happy Gilmore. I would literally watch Happy Gilmore every night.
Good Lord.
When I watched it the other day, I still remembered all the lines.
Did you guys have any films that like inspired you growing up that you were like, this is the film that
Ray.
I want to see? Ray?
Ray Charles. I was so fucking obsessed with
With
Ray Charles.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year did that come out? How long ago was that?
I don't know.
I think it was like 2006, 7.
Early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dang.
Mine was Star Wars all the way.
Oh, Star Wars is amazing.
Star
dude.
Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings.
That's like the dream to be a part of that franchise, man.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Brock?
I remember I had this film, which a lot of people know, Troy.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
Is that
Honestly,
with
Brad Pitt.
No, I haven't seen it.
he just
Orlando Bloom?
there's this. The reason though was not the film itself. Like I love the film, don't get me wrong, but there was this one line that I'm never gonna forget. What was it? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll never forget what was it. Well done.
Yeah, but he goes. Achilles goes, "I want what all men want. I
Mhm.
just want it more."
Yeah.
And that moment, I was like, that one line blew me away, but it also was like, I need to apply that to my life and everything that I work on, and believing in myself more than anyone else ever could. And that's how I'm going to get to where I want to go, to do everything in my power to get to where I want to go, you know? So I kind of that's why I love that film.
How do you stay motivated every day to do that, to stay the course?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, it comes down to, well, one, I know that I can do it. I wouldn't attack the goals that I have if I didn't know and believe in myself in doing it. But also, I believe that I'm going to help a lot of people with it, whether it's inspire them, whether it's like, let's say I hit big and I make a bunch of money. There's so many people that I can help. And I think maybe coming from my humble beginnings, I know what it's like to have nothing. So I want to help other people live their dreams. And there's nothing I get more excited about than like if I can get you that lead role, you know, or if I can get your song to #1, you know, like that stuff fires me up. And if I can help do that, it's the most exciting thing in the world. And so movies and TV and like that was the thing for me as a kid. My escape was, if I can dive into this film and forget everything else in my world, then that's a great film. And I wanted to give that back to people, you know?
What was happening in your world that you wanted to forget?
I mean, I just had a crazy childhood, realistically. it was just moving around all over the place, no consistency, didn't get to stick with anything. Like I would try to play even for sports, for example, and I couldn't stick on a team. Like high school alone, I transferred 9 times. Oof. So there's a little bit of wild stuff going on at home, and then not having that, not having a normal upbringing, I guess normal, quote unquote. But honestly, regardless of whatever happened in my family life with stuff with school, friends, all that stuff, I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm grateful for every single moment because it gave me a whole different view on life and a level of clarity that I don't think I would have had, and just a different perspective, you know. So
how do you overturn like hardships in your life into not like a pity party, you know?
Gratitude. Yeah. I look at everything as I'm grateful for this thing happening, whatever it is. It's you can go through the craziest thing in the world, and life is not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. So if something crazy or bad happens to you, if you let it affect you and let it take you down, let it tear you down, which is a lot of times why when it happens to you, that's what the other person or the other experience, like whatever's on the other end of that wants you to happen. If you can take it and say, look, yes, I can recognize that was a terrible thing or whatever it is, but I can take it being grateful that I've learned not only about myself or whatever the situation is, and I've grown from it. I've looked at it as a lesson, and what can I learn and take from this to become better? So that's, I would say, gratitude all the way. Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself like not being grateful? Not like, but like, do you ever get down, you know?
Oh, for sure.
You forget, like, and how do you get out of those kind of like ruts?
I mean, just to cut that veil, dude, I grew up with depression. So I was in a constant state of, you know, just down. And it was a matter of, I always had to tell myself, and I it's so funny because I have friends that'll come from, you know, back in the day, from high school, from, you know, middle school even, but mostly like high school and the years after, where they're like, I haven't seen them in 10 years now. And every now and again I'll get in contact with them, and they're like, man, the number one thing I remember about you is you would always say, be positive, be positive. So it comes down to your mindset and really the way you view things, and it's negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. So it doesn't matter what you're doing in your life. If you're going to show up in the world and be mad that, you know, you got a flat tire, you stubbed your toe, or that thing didn't go through the way you wanted it to, I found that some of the biggest opportunities that I missed became the greatest blessings I ever had, because it opened doors that I never would have even thought of. So I just walk around and I try to be as grateful as possible. I try to be as positive as possible. And I want to, like I said, I love to help people, and I love to inspire people in like especially my immediate group. So just having that mindset, it's infectious. So if you can give that to somebody, I think it's one of the best things in the world. Yeah.
I've seen you do that consistently, especially inside our friend group. Like,
what are you talking about, dude?
Dude, my dude, he freaking, the night that I got my Unistellar telescope, my boy brings over the greatest painting of all time, this canvas with a astronaut.
I hand painted
the greatest painting of all time.
Listen.
There's like Mona Lisa, and he's like, no.
It's like a canvas print, too.
It's $30 on Amazon. Okay, fine, whatever. Fine, it's still the greatest to me. But it was so dope because I'm naturally obsessed with the universe and like what it has to offer and the possibilities of things that we haven't even discovered, that we don't understand about it. And Brock knows this. Brock has a shared excitement.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting. Unistellar, please hook up my boy.
Yeah.
With a telescope.
Our names are now on Mars, by the way. Yeah.
Dude, oh, that's right. We fucking sent our names to Mars. I mean, I wore this meteorite. This is the Campo del Cielo meteorite.
That's awesome.
Crash landed 1575, 1576 roughly. This thing cooled in the universe after an explosion. The enriched guts of a star exploded all over space and sent this on a crash course over 4 to 6 billion years towards Earth, and it crash landed in South America.
I feel like there's two kinds of people in the world, and one of them is zero interest in that, and the other one just got so aroused by what you just said.
Us two, very erect. Mark was like,
prove it.
Mark, listen, I've done the science. Just because you watch YouTube videos doesn't mean it's not proven. Watch.
I don't believe it.
Mark doesn't believe anything that I talk about. That's science.
Science is fake.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
Oh, let's not even get into that conversation.
Bust out the swords.
Fuck, dude.
Fight to the death.
Part of this shit. You fucking shut up over there. That'll be my way of like kicking guests off the show, is like, get the fuck off my set.
Whack them, dude. Sick.
But yeah, I mean, this stuff, like, it blows my mind in the fact that, like, you know, the other night we went out and we did have the Unistellar scope out, and we were just laying on my balcony, and we were watching the meteorites skim across the surface of our atmosphere.
It's awesome.
And you just see these streaks of rock and dust and space debris just skimming us, right? And those things are on a trajectory. I think the specific one was from the Pleiades constellation region. It wasn't from the Pleiades, but it's from that direction. And every like 7,500 years, we come into contact with this rotation of meteorites. And that stuff, it blows my mind. Like, we are in such a vast universe of things that are going to kill us, like apocalyptic. One hit with a giant asteroid, the human race is over. I mean, we see these craters, like the one down in Mexico, that literally it wiped out. It was like the equivalent of like, I can't remember how many. It would be like 100 or 1,000 nuclear bombs going off at once.
It's insane.
And it roasted the surface of the earth. And they go around, they can check in the Arctic, they can check in Washington State, they can check in Dubai. It doesn't matter where they go. They go down a certain layer into the Earth's crust, and they can find the scorching of this asteroid that hit down.
Insane.
Which just blows my mind. And we're this close. We're spinning 24,000 miles an hour through space, traveling. It blows my mind.
Yeah. Prove it.
Mark just did.
Are you a flat earther, dude?
Mark's a flat earther.
Prove it. Nah, I don't believe in that.
But yeah, I think like Brock and I had a really cool bonding moment. Like when we first met, like we went over to your house. We'd met a handful of times before that because of Indian Motorcycle, like connecting us and all of us riding together. But we didn't like meet and have a shared bonding experience until like we went into your house and we all cooked steak and ate man shit.
Did manly things.
And then we went, Mark, you and me all sat in your garage and on your podcast set.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you have an axe? And you're like, as a matter of fact, I do. Oh shit. Satan.
There's demons in our house.
There have been a few attacks lately. Saxon brought them with her.
Oh.
Listen, I'm going to try and put this up, but tell us, Brock, tell us about your love for axes.
Dude.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, just drop that
thing. Stand
down. Honestly, dude, if you don't have an axe, what are you doing with
yourself? What are you even doing, bro?
I'm doing a lot, so.
Are you though?
Good answer.
Are you though?
Could I be doing more with an axe?
You could be doing.
Think about all the things you could be chopping wood. You could be self-defense training all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
you've been doing that your whole life. That's a
lot. Stay away from the landscaping tools.
Nah, Brock. What got you into the universe? What is like your mindset behind that?
The universe?
Yeah, all the stuff that we talk about all the time.
I mean, dude, it's just the infinite possibilities out there. There's one. That was probably one of my favorite moments in my life. Is I went through one of the hardest times ever, and I remember laying out on the ground, staring up at the sky, and it was like I had the weight of the world. Like I said, I grew up with depression, so I had the weight of the world on me, and I just wanted it to be over. I wanted it to be finished. I was tired of it, and I remember looking up, and I just saw this shooting star go across the sky. Man, I was like, I am so small in this entire thing that it took all of my problems and made them go away. You know, it was like it made all the problems smaller. It made all the issues or things that I was going through smaller. And so for me, I was like, that was one of my first, I was in high school. It was one of the biggest moments of realization for me of like, anything that I'm going through, I can get through, I can figure out, and I can make my way. And it was because of space, you know? And so diving deeper into that, it's like a whole nother animal, but sorry to get all sappy and emotional.
Nah, bro, a lot of people need to hear this stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
For me, it was huge, man. It was just going out and just staring at the stars. And then from that moment on, obviously being a big fan of Star Wars and all that other stuff, it's just that there are so many limitless possibilities out there. They're infinite. And you can dive into any which realm. And being a creative as well, as, you know, and with movies and film and everything, it's a whole nother way to take your mind on another level where it's just, dude, you're wearing a meteorite that's been traveling through space for millions of years, and now it's on your hand.
Literally.
It's wild.
This is why, like, I love this over Louis Vuitton, because this survived the journey of space, and Louis Vuitton won't even survive like 3 more months. No offense, Louis Vuitton. I would love to get sponsored, and I would totally wear your stuff. This is just talking about like the universe.
I think you'll survive. No,
I think you'll. Fuck, I'll think you'll survive for sure. But dude, it's like to me, that mindset and that mentality of like opening up to the possibilities of the universe in a way, of like, that is where we step in as the artist and as the creators to have an opportunity to share that love and that excitement with everybody else. We have an opportunity to like show the world and the universe to people that inspires them the same way that we were inspired.
Yeah.
What did you do, or can I ask you, I wanted to ask this, but I didn't. What happened that you felt the weight of the world on you? If you don't want to share, you don't have to, but.
No, I mean, I'd like to share. I just, some things I think for like certain reasons have to not be shared, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But it was definitely a lot of traumatic family things going on.
You don't have to share
save
everything.
it. I'm gonna save
save it.
It's gonna be a great story someday.
What I mean, beyond looking at the universe, because that's like obviously really, really great, and like this is the moment that triggered you into a trajectory that pushed you to where you were going. Yeah. But what are some healthy steps that you took in the meantime, in the midst of a traumatic family experience or any of that type of thing, the depression that sets in? Yeah. What are the active steps that you took to make that better?
Honestly, the biggest thing in my life was fitness.
Mm-hmm.
It really, you know, a lot of times you see like gym rats and all that stuff. And when I dove more into it, I realized it was something that I had control over. It was something that gave me confidence. Cause I was super skinny, you know, basically defenseless. You know, I started taking martial arts at a young age as well. And then when I got into working out, I was like, one, I can build the body that I wanted. I could feel better about myself. I could protect myself and anyone else around me. Because I mean, I had like, one of the things was I had a very abusive father. Mm-hmm. So he would beat us and do all kinds of crazy, like emotionally abusive things as well. And so giving me, building myself up and giving me strength gave me the power. It took it away from him, you know? And so for me, it was like, my whole mindset changed when I started to have confidence and I stepped into that. But then I also started to do more studying about the nutrition, the things that you put into your body, realizing how that has an effect on you and your emotional state as well, your chemical balancing. So when you eat healthy and then you train right, that was the only time that I actually felt happy, which is so crazy to think, but it was when I crushed myself in the gym. I pushed myself to my farthest limits, and not only did I reap the rewards of that, of, you know, the physical ability, but it was my mental and my spiritual self that just expanded, because if I did a great workout, I had nothing but serotonin pumping in my mind and my veins, and I felt happy. And I'm like, this is the best feeling in the world, you know? So I just kept that going. And then you actually look, if you can research it and check out the studies and the way that it can help cure depression and all that, I completely... without doing the scientifical studies on it, you know,
scientifical,
exactly. I lived it. So I experienced it, and I tried so many different versions of training and working out and all these different things, but I just knew that this made me feel better. It helped me heal and it helped me grow. And then it did I never found one thing bad about it. Yeah. So for me, I was sold. I
agree with the whole working out thing. Like, I don't work out now. Because I like to go to the gym. I was in a routine and shit. Yeah. But post breakup, man, I just quit making YouTube videos, quit creating content, and I just went to the gym every day because I was a fat fuck, and I hated the way I looked. But there was no better feeling like weighing myself every day and seeing the number be less, and like looking in the mirror and seeing like the fat go off your love handles and shit like that. It was like you were making progress in yourself, and like your confidence builds.
And that's a huge thing too. Is like you got to look at self-love. One, it's an act of self-love, which we all need to, you know, do multiple things of that. But what happens is, even if it's as simple as you start to feel better about yourself, you start to look better, so then you feel better about yourself, and then you treat other people better, and then they treat you better without even you. There's so many deeper layers to that stuff that you don't even realize. That one, you know, your energy levels are going to be better. You're going to feel better about yourself. I always say, like, do you ever notice when you have a bad day, it kind of seems like everyone else is having a bad day? And it's that negative energy that's being put out there. So when you feel good about yourself, you act better, and you treat yourself better, and then you show up better in the world, and other people treat you better. So it only makes it the whole entire system better. Yeah. So that's like another reason I love it. So that, like I said, I've never found a negative when you do it right. I've never found a negative when it comes to your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to therapy or anything like that?
When I was younger, I was we kind of had to, but like I would say, I remember being 12 and I sat in the room with a therapist and I was like, you're an idiot. So I didn't say anything. And then it really came down to seeking knowledge myself. Cause I'm all for therapists, dude. 100%. I've seen what they've done for people in my immediate family and my immediate friends. And, it's no, of course, but then it came down to how far and what can I learn? It's like business, you know, it's self-knowledge is going to be greater than anything you're going to learn in school, you know, the things that you actually want to go out and seek and study and learn. It's not just regurgitation. It's, I want to learn this and what can I do? So I studied self-help books. I studied some of the greatest minds out there and not only in, you know, business, but in your mindset, dude. It's like, that's what it boils down to. If you want to be successful, it's not about, you know, having all this money. It's about how can you function at the highest level, the highest vibration in every aspect of your life. You have to be healthy. You know, you have to be super successful in your health, in your family life, in your relationships, you know, everything across the board. So I was like, how can I make this work? Because I've seen successful people, quote unquote, lose everything, destroy everything, self-sabotage everything. And I've done that myself in my own life. So it was until I realized, like, how can I fix this? How can I change these things? Because at the end of the day, if you really break down the human mind, it is like a computer. And we can program ourselves to be however we want. You know, we can create. That's the biggest thing about us, is that we are creators and we can create the life that we want.
Yeah.
And the life that you're living right now is a direct reflection of the actions that you're taking, the habits that you have. So if you change those and make them better, it's going to get you to where you want to go. But if you have bad habits, it's just going to affect you. And you have to realize and figure those things out. So it really does come down to also self-awareness and being open to that and figuring out what those things are, and also facing what things you need to face. Because a lot of times we're all looking for an escape. You know, we're all trying to run from our problems and the things that are holding us back because we don't want to deal with them. We don't want to face them. And it's the hardest thing in the world, you know, face your trauma, face your past, face the things that you're doing wrong. And it's so easy to escape. You know, you've got social media, you've got movies, it could be food, it can be a million different things, drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. But when you really step up to the plate, it's the most rewarding thing in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have this, I just taught a master class on, like, honestly, just self-success.
Yeah.
And I was like, I used myself as the example, but one of the things I say in there is I was like, you have to become friends with your demons. You have to become best friends with your demons so they no longer control you, but you can invite them and uninvite them into the room. You can have conversations with them in a way that, like, most people would be uncomfortable with, talking about their problems or their trauma or other things, because that's when you know you have control and mastery over the problems and they no longer control you. Yeah. And then on top of that, the out of everything that I've been hearing you say, and this is what I told them to do, was you have to find your why. You have to find your why. Every day I get up, I know exactly why I'm getting up.
Yeah.
I know what my week looks like. I know what my month looks like. I know what my year looks like. Granted, there are times when my life has so much going on that, like, it looks like a fucking blur. But I know at the end of the day, everything is going towards a few major goals in my life, and one major goal, right? And yes, that is world domination. Of course. Who else wouldn't think that?
That's why we're friends. I'm going to be on your side.
The mountains, brother. Great to see you again. Brother. But you have to find your why. PiersonFodeVIP.com. Go check it out. I taught a whole class on it, but I do want to, awesome. I want to encourage people to do that, is to find your why. Why are you waking up in the morning? You know, why do you do what you do? Because if you don't have that reason, you won't want to get in shape. You won't want to wake up at 5 a.m. and go for that run.
You're not going to want to push when all you want to do is give up.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
The easiest way to give up is to not have a reason that you're doing it.
Yeah. If you don't have a reason, why are you even doing it? You know what I mean?
And it has to be through inspiration, not through, like, a form of vengeance. That can get the trail started.
So there's different forms of that. It's like, you know, it's like you light a little tinder, and that can be your anger, your hatred, your whatever that fuel is. But that's like a kerosene. It's
not
like
sustainable.
It's something that doesn't last. Exactly. You know, versus like your why being solar power that can go forever, you know, or whatever it is. But it has to be powerful. It has to be strong enough to overpower your doubts or your fear, your negativity, your whatever, your want. Your why has to be more powerful than your want to not do it. You know what I mean? Yep. So it's like you find that and you make it a beast. Yeah. And there's nothing you can't do.
Do you think you have to have a why though?
Yeah.
Like, I still wake up I don't know what my why is yet. but I still wake up every day and do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But why are you doing it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know the answer to it.
You just kind of fell into it, and you're like,
I just fucking do it.
I mean,
his why is Nike.
Nike. Just do it. No, I think, Mark, we've had these conversations off screen, but I think for you did have a why for so long.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was like, I want to, like, for instance, you woke up after you and Logan stopped working together and you're like, I want to hit 1 million subscribers by X, Y, and Z time.
Yeah.
And that was your why for a long time. Then you hit that. But that was a short-term goal to a long-term answer, right? So you still hadn't found and built up, and this is what we've been working on, is like, why is Mark doing what he's doing, right? And like, your why isn't solidified because you've set these really big goals and you keep hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you set your bar and you hit it. And you set your bar and you hit it. But ultimately, the story that overshapes all of these little like monuments inside your life hasn't been shaped by the monumental occasion, your why.
But I still wake up every day, I guess, and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But like I hit my goals, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get this many streams. I hit it. I want to get this. I hit it.
So you're setting small goals inside of that. You just
they're
have
realistic.
An overarching story.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, is like, but this is also, I think, our conversation of why you felt like so depressed of like, I'm tired of fucking making YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm tired of doing the podcast, or this is why I'm tired of, making TikToks or doing social media. This is why I want to do music, because it feels new and it feels fresh. Right. But ultimately, those things can get tiresome when you don't have the reason to do it anymore. The reason that you're tired of making YouTube videos is, honestly, you've done 500 of them. You've done so many. And
more than that.
More than that. Yeah. And then on top of that,
Crushed
if you
it,
include the TikToks and the Instagram videos and the stories, thousands, tens of thousands of pieces of content.
Right.
And you've never had the expansion of the reason hasn't shifted into the why outside of just, kind of a moment of trying to hit 1 million followers, right? Or trying to beat somebody to a punch, right? And there's those moments that are great, like kerosene inside of your fire. Like yours, what was a good example you gave on one of the podcasts? You were like, oh, the reason that I wanted to hit 2 million followers faster than somebody else. What was that?
It was Rachel Cook. I told her I'd hit him 1.5 million before her or something like that.
Yeah. Which is like that. I mean, when you have that goal and that set, it drives you and it narrows your focus. So everything else up to that point, you can just, no, sorry, I got to hit 1.4 million followers. I got to make a viral video. I got to up the clickbait.
I just did that on TikTok too.
Yeah.
I had a goal. Like, one of our friends was about to hit 1 million, and I was like 250,000 away, and she was like 30,000 away, and I was like, I'm gonna beat you to 1 million. And I did.
And that's great. But then
that's awesome.
But then I do it, and then I'm like, all right, don't need to post on TikTok anymore.
And see, like for me, my why is to tell stories that change lives, right? Yeah. My life as a little kid on the farm was, I felt isolated and disconnected from the world, but I felt inspired by looking up at the night sky and the universe out there, and I saw Star Wars and the way that they interacted with the night sky on top of that, and told a story that made a farm kid turn into the hero of a galaxy. Superman, a farm boy that turned into the savior of the planet, right?
Yeah.
And those stories can inspire children and old men and old women, or anybody of any age, to greatness. And my why became the inspiration to greatness, right? How do we become great? And how do we carry on the inspiration to greatness to the next generation, or the people around us, or the world? And what are the mediums that we do that through? And mine was like, oh, fuck, storytelling, movies.
Yeah.
I never, like, for an hour and a half, this is the closest to God I'll ever feel, and I'm agnostic. I'm the one who sits there, and this is a ceremony. And so when I make TikToks and I started vlogging and I started doing the podcast, ultimately this is all to tell stories, to tell major stories that impact people's lives, that change them forever in a single moment, even if it's just pure entertainment. Sometimes people just need to be entertained.
I mean, that was mine for a while too, but then I think I got into a point where it's like I've told my story.
But you've told your story.
I've told my story, so like now it's like I need to start saying other stories,
Yeah.
that's why I do like the music. It's like, okay, I'm telling a story in a different way.
Yeah.
Versus like everyone that watches my videos, they know everything about me from start to finish. That's why when you see a new creator come up, you're like, oh, this is exciting. Like, I don't know them. You get to know them. Yeah. It's mysterious. Like, you start to learn things about them. That's why they pop off. It's like they're new and fresh, right? Yeah. Like, everything about my life is on the internet. Yeah. So, like, that's why I like doing the music now, is because it's like I could say it in a cool way.
Yeah,
and a rememberable way. Whereas, like, you see my vlog, I've made so many fucking vlogs, you're not going to remember them.
Yeah, but you're at a monumental place in your life where it has to transition, right? I feel like we're all at this kind of place where we're all transitioning in a major way. I know that for me, I'm rebranding everything. But you're at a place where you're taking the entire empire that you've built, and now you're transitioning it into something new. And it's like you gave birth to the child, and now it's going through puberty. So it's painful, and there's arguments, and there's like these growing pains of like figuring out what the fuck all of it means, and having to like tell your child to shut up and like listen to what Mark's vision is. And then at the same time, letting the creativity of like what the music is and what the vlogs are and all of it play out into a singular moment. But now you're reshaping everything. And I think that's why part of it's so challenging.
That's awesome. Do you have like a long-term goal with anything that you're doing, music or anything like that?
I think everybody has the same long-term goal.
Yeah.
Die. No, I'm kidding.
Die at 27, become very famous.
I actually want to live forever.
You know, I think, I don't know. I whenever I get in like a negative thought space, I try to shift my mind and be like, fuck it. Why are you thinking like that?
Yeah.
You're
great at that. I've seen you do it multiple times.
What?
You just go, fuck it. I don't need to worry about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, my long term, I love making music. I love the process more than anything. Like, I don't give like Threesome is out. It's doing well. I don't fucking care. Like, I made that song a year ago, and like, I'm ready for the next one. You know, like I love going to the studio today and, you know, writing at night with my friend. It's like, that's what I love.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's cool that it pays money and stuff, but like, I feel like a tour would be fun. Like, my biggest dream in life is to perform in front of a crowd. That's like, I always envision that. So like, I basically, everything that I enjoy is the process. Yeah, you get that gratification of like, oh fuck, people like it. That's cool. But like, more than anything, I think I like the making of stuff that I like have a vision for.
Yeah.
And like seeing it come to life.
Absolutely. That's also one of my favorite things about being an artist in general is you follow your passion. Right. You know, and yet when the money comes, and especially when you really are passionate about something, that's great. But you get to wake up every day because, like you said, your why is pushing you, man. You're enjoying every moment of that. You'll put in extra hours. You do that. If you worked at like a Kinko's or whatever, no offense to Kinko's, but like,
listen, I work at FedEx.
If it doesn't, if that's not your dream job and it doesn't fire you up, you're not going to be thinking about Kinko's when you're on your time off. You're going to figure out, how can I get out of this?
Well, yeah, I had this conversation with friends too. It's like, I chose to make YouTube videos. I chose this life. This is what I wanted, you know? So for me to complain about like certain things, it's like, dude, I signed up for this. Like, this is what I wanted. And I have friends that are like, they don't have the motivation and the drive that me and Pierson do.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I think me and Pierson click so well, and we enjoy hanging out with you, is because we all have like a vision and believe in ourselves so much. And we like love what we do. Like, we're here because 100%. We want to do that.
Exactly.
You can't give someone a camera and force them to be like, want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to have that within them every day of like, I want this.
Yeah. They have to want to tell stories.
Was it Tarantino said, it comes down to, you don't need to have this massive education in school and film. You don't have to have all of the money in the world. You give somebody who will do anything, that would die to make a great film, that if you give them passion, an undying passion, and you just give them a camera, they'll make a great film.
Absolutely. Dude, he worked in a movie store, like a rental, an at-home Hastings, Heartland Video. These are the things that I grew up with, but this is like...
But making films because he knew he could make better films.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He's a freaking beast.
He's an animal.
He's the man.
My favorite thing too, I mean, I watched YouTube videos to learn everything I did, like how to edit, how to film. I was like researching these YouTubers, every piece of equipment they were using. I was like, all right, cool. And fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, a lot of people always comment on like YouTube videos or social media people back in the day. I don't really see it as much now. It's like, oh, I could do that, what he's doing. And it's like, okay, then fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I did it.
But that's also the difference too, is like there are a lot of people that can do that, but there's not a lot of people that get up and go
drive.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's if you have to work hard, you got to work your ass off in whatever you're doing. It's like, yeah, you can say that all day. Like, yeah, I do believe you can do that, but you're not getting up and doing it. So I'm going to do it. And there's a lot of people that have opportunities that necessarily, like, they can be at the top. Like, let's say Hollywood, for example, you can be an A-list celebrity and you're not necessarily the best actor or whoever in the world, but you worked your ass off to get there, you know, and you're supposed to be there. So that's why you're there. And that's like, that's a massive factor. And it's like, you just have to work your ass off, believe in yourself, and go do it, you know?
Yeah. You guys, this has been a very, like, awesome conversation.
This is neat.
I want to continue this.
Oh, I don't want it to end.
I don't want it to end either. We shall do it again, brother.
We shall.
Do we have any final closing thoughts of inspiration or greatness or a challenge to the fans that you want to see them pursue in their own lives? Mark?
I think for me, I would say if you're thinking about doing something and someone in your life, whether it's family, who is typically the first people to hold you back, or friends, go do it. Try it. I don't know, whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't even have to be filming a TikTok or whatever.
Brock?
I mean, I guess because we were talking about habits earlier, I would say I almost want to challenge people to see what habits they have and to at least make one good habit today and then try to apply it for the rest of the week, whether that's one day, whether it's 3 days, 5 days. Just keep consistent with it and watch as it becomes a part of your daily routine and a part of everything that you do, and watch how that one good habit that you're doing, whether it's not eating some donuts, or it's waking up like an hour earlier and working out, or you know, reading a great book, whatever that is for you, I challenge you to make a good habit and then watch what it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys, that habit can take 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Brush your teeth one more time a day.
It could be you saying 10 great things about yourself. You know?
That's something
That's simple.
That really inspires people.
Your dick is huge.
Who got that good dick? And for me, I think I want to challenge people to find their why. Really, like, look deep inside of yourselves and start to ask yourself the questions of, what does make me tick? What inspires me? What do I love? What are the things that I want to see people become better at or become greater at? What are the challenges that I want to give to the people around me to make us all achieve greater things? What is my why? Why do I want what I want? And if you guys can find that for yourselves and really discover those things that are deep inside of you, like dig fucking deep and write it all out, I think that will inspire the building a skateboard from a branch, that will inspire the one good habit a day. And I hope you guys do that, because for me, it's been the spotlight in a world of darkness at times that pulls me out from the dark night of the soul, right? So for you guys, I hope you can do that. And to my guest and my guest host, fucking love you guys.
Thanks, man.
Love you, bro.
Thank you guys for sharing the Fode Philosophy. Comment down below what your why is, why you wake up, and all those things. And brothers, it's been great seeing you.
Thank you. Always a good time, brothers.
Fode Philosophy out. What is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
This one time?
Yeah.
At band camp?
Yeah. Honestly, this is the end of the podcast.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
I can tell you about the time I broke into a prison.
Say what? Actually?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, tell us.
Oh, man. So I had two buddies of mine that actually thought this would be a great idea. I'm not even lying. This is a true
This is dead
story.
serious?
This is a dead serious
Holy shit,
story.
we're recording this, right?
Dude.
Okay, shit.
Let me tell you something. This place, so, okay, just to preface, it was an abandoned prison.
Yeah.
Okay, but a prison nonetheless.
There were definitely prison ghosts in there.
For sure, prison
Hell
ghosts.
yeah, dude.
This thing had to be, I don't know, maybe 8 stories tall.
Yeah.
Getting into it, it's completely blocked in. It's a prison. You can't get into a prison, and they don't want anyone going in here. My buddies thought it would be a good idea to break in. I don't know why I thought it'd be a good idea to do it too. Somehow we went around this whole place.
Yeah.
Hopped the fence, got it back there, found this one window that was like 4 stories up. Don't even know how we got there. I had to lift him up to get in there. He had to pull some, like, put some blankets to, like, literally, like, it was like you were breaking out of a jail. But we broke into it and we started exploring, dude. We took photos, did video. Like, the place was insane. And it was eerie. It was creepy. There was crap everywhere, paint, like spray paint. Yeah. It was just like, it was evil. It was dark looking. You didn't want to be in there. Well, long story short, we're mobbing around this thing for like 30 minutes, an hour at this point. Found all this really cool stuff. We're like, we want to go to the bottom floor. We want to see what's down there. You know, we heard some crazy stories. We start going down the staircase, go to open a door. Now, keep in mind, there's only one way in and one way out of this place that we found. And it was that window that was on the 4th freaking story. We had gone up, over, like up all the floors, and then down all the way to the bottom floor, 8 floors. What?
Was this at nighttime?
It was right when the sun had gone down. So it just got dark.
Hell yeah, brother.
The darkness calls to me.
Yes. Hail the Dark Lord.
No.
What? No. Continue.
Okay, long story short.
No, not long story short.
Short story long.
Yeah.
We went down to the bottom floor, went to go in there. The door had an alarm on it. As soon as we opened it, the alarm went off. There is no way out. We are trapped inside of a prison. Had to run up the stairs. This whole experience took like 15 minutes to get out of this damn thing. Ran across. We were on the wrong floor. Had to go back towards the other side of the jail. Back up, around, down, out. Get out. Jumped out. Almost broke my damn leg getting out of this prison. And then go around. Hop the fence. And right as we hopped the fence, it had to have taken 15, 20 minutes for us to get out of the prison.
Yeah.
Right as we hopped out, 6 squad cars pull up, dude.
Stop.
I'm not even lying, bro. I was nervous. We walked like it was casual, like nothing happened around the corner, and booked it, dude. So.
Where was this?
I don't even remember the location, dude, but it was this abandoned prison. It was insane.
Is it an abandoned prison? They still had all the shit like on lock?
Everything was locked. Well, you don't want people going in there, you know, but.
What kind of science experiments were they performing in the basement? That's what I want to know.
Oh, dude.
Why did 6 squad cars show up?
It was, that's why we couldn't get on the bottom floor.
Think about that.
Man.
Bro, that's terrifying.
Oh, dude, I don't think my heart has ever pumped harder in my life. Insane.
Holy shit.
You're going full adrenaline, full speed for 15 minutes thinking you can't get out of there. It was not dude, the window, I'm 6'7", bro.
Yeah.
The window is this big. It's that big. Like you can't, and it's a 12-foot drop to get onto the like 2nd floor, and then you have to get off of that on top of it. It was insane.
Dude, imagine like the cops that were like, we fucking look for you pieces of shit for years.
All I got to say is the fastest way to go to prison is to break into prison.
It's literally Prison Break in reverse.
Prison break in. Terrible idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea, though.
Yeah, great idea. It was fun. It was crazy. I still got the sickest photo from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to see it.
Mysterious.
Go to Brock's Instagram to see that photo or whatever.
Go back like 7 years and you'll find it.
Or maybe Tyler, we can like pop it in right here on a wide shot.
Just put it in place of that painting that fell off.
Yeah. Well, shit. That is pretty crazy.
Well, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you, bro?
Bro, me? Oh, fuck. Honestly, brain damage.
That's pretty crazy.
Bro, that shit was nuts.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That was like, it was a weird kind of crazy, but it felt like a giant LSD trip that either lasted a few hours or my entire life. Man. I do not know the difference of those 3 months that it was happening. Everything was strung together. Like I could not.
That's crazy.
It was Groundhog's Day. It was post-antibiotic delirium. It was Alzheimer's. It was dementia. It was time lapsing. It was time dilation. You would be speaking, and then time and my mind would reset in a moment, and I'd go, dude, I don't know where I am. I was like 10-second Tom from 50 First Dates, and I was like, oh, fuck, where am I? Who are you? It was terrifying. But I think for me,
that's wild.
That's one of the craziest things that's ever happened, and I will do everything in my power to never have that happen again. And I feel awful for anybody that has to go through that.
Yeah.
Wild. But also, I do want to break into a prison. That sounds awesome.
I'll show you the way, bro.
Bro, let's make our way down there.
Well, I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're all right.
I'm also glad you didn't go to prison for breaking into prison.
Dude, we never would have met.
That would've
You
been a
imagine
huge
I
bummer.
got 20 years for breaking into prison.
You finally break out.
Oh, dude. Oh, I
What
don't know how to
about
get
that?
out. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess this is the secondary end to the podcast.